I'm a 29-year-old content creator and digital marketer that has years of experience making viral content and developing businesses with content. Here's how I write great stories for clients that boost retention as fast as possible without spending a dime. And stay till the end because the last point is crucial. So let me ask you questions. Have you ever seen a video or an ad or a picture somewhere and then you beat yourself over the head with reasons why you should buy a certain business's product? Yeah, me too. It happens to all of us. In fact, in a study by Headstream, 92% of consumers want ads to feel like stories. It always goes back to the age-old statement that if your client or customer feels like they're getting sold to, they're not going to buy. Number two, think about it. Why would you? Why would they? You haven't even built trust with them. In fact, the Edelman Trust Barometer states that 70% of customers buy in or opt into a funnel, like a marketing funnel, when the CEO is visible and present within their brand in some capacity. Which only proves my point that I tell literally everybody on the planet that the businesses that are going to crush in the next 5 to 10 years are the ones that have a huge grasp on what it is to have a personal brand. Also, by doing this, you stay top of mind. Stanford University actually made research stating that compelling stories, more often than not, are remembered 60% of the time, 60% more often than logical statements about a product or service that is going to save you money. Imagine that, 60%, that's crazy, right? Which brings me to the ultimate point that I came to about 2 years ago, and the reason why I even started my freaking business in the first place. Businesses don't know how to tell great stories, which means they're not developing trust, not only with the people that see their stuff, but also with their customer base, which then that means, come here, no sales. It is crazy. So then you're probably watching this thinking like, all right, Pedro, then how am I supposed to tell better stories then? When I talk to people about this, I use a bunch of different frameworks, but one of my favorite is the one created by The Moth, which if you don't know how to tell stories, literally buy their book, How to Tell Stories by The Moth. It's that simple. This framework is used to basically write great stories for the community events that they hold, right? So they say that great stories hold 4 components. The first one is that they're true and they're written in first person. They are not read or recited, which makes sense for most ads and most pieces of advertisement that people make. There's some sort of stakes or some sort of transformation or conflict, being like it defines your why, creates tension for the viewer, or there's some sort of struggle or unexpected event or problem that needs to be solved. And number 4, and it's told within a time frame of 10 to 12 minutes. Obviously, within an ad, it has to be like stupid short, but let's say for example, if you're giving like a keynote talk, then roughly it'd be like 10 to 12 minutes, of course, because then you lose people after that. Using this framework in a multitude of places, how does that apply to social media, right? So first of all, what I tell businesses when they talk to me about which platform should I get on? What should I do? How much time should I invest? How long should the videos be? I basically tell them, you have to figure out, first of all, the channel that you want to be spreading your message on first. You can't just literally, all right, I'm going to do omnipresence first of all. It's just first we got to figure out which one you're going to be focusing on, okay? Where is the platform where most of your customers lie? Right? If it's young people, it'll probably be Instagram and TikTok. If it's millennials, it'll probably be Instagram or YouTube. If people who are business owners, it'll probably be LinkedIn or YouTube. You have to know this. You have to know this to the T where most of your customers lie. From there, you figure out, am I going to write text? Am I going to do short form content? Or am I going to do long form content? If you're going to do text, probably be short to long, right? It might be longer form text or short text, depending on who you're talking to, right? Short form content would probably be anything from 5 to 90 seconds. Most people can't even stick with you unless you're stupid engaging, which most business owners aren't. So I usually say a good ballpark is 5 to 90 seconds. And then long form, it'd be anything that's 5 minutes plus, right? But YouTube is not going to put an ad in front of your video unless it's longer than 10 to 15 minutes. So take that into consideration. Pick the platform that best suits your needs and the needs of your customer base, so that way they can find you easily. Now, if you've picked text, obviously you're going to have to write within your voice. You can't just literally delegate writing text-based posts to somebody else based on your thoughts and your credo and your mission statement. So you're gonna have to give some sort of investment towards writing overall. At the end of the day, copywriting is literally the biggest skill when it comes to sales because you're literally converting words into money. Like it's ridiculous. I literally work on it every single day because I really want to be world class at copywriting. So that way it makes my videos better, it makes my ads better, and it also makes my content better. So makes sense. So if you're going to go the text-based route, you might as well dedicate like maybe 15, 30 minutes. It doesn't even have to be that long. It could be even 10 minutes just to writing about anything, right? The whole point is so that way people can resonate more, not only with your company, but also with what you have to say. Short form content, there's a multitude of different things that are going on, right? I recently just went to the Attention Summit and Creator Hub hosted by Ryan McGinn and Icon Becker, and I met obviously Ryan McGinn, who's absolutely amazing and has a team that makes content for most of the people that we literally watch on a consistent basis every single day, and Adley Kinsman, who does the same thing but for her company named Viralish, right? And within short form, here are the types of videos that are going to do well and have been doing well in 2025 going into 2026. First of all, it's Yap videos. Yap videos are essentially anything that you are sharing, literally just talking to the camera like this, in one of 4 content buckets, being life advice, observations of society, controversial takes, and traveling, right? So let's say within the fitness industry, you have, I'm gonna do life advice. You need to be doing 10,000 steps every single day in order to have consistent heart health, right? Let's take it to observations of society. The healthiest country on the planet is Denmark for XYZ reasons. Controversial takes. If you're a trainer, if you're a gym trainer, you shouldn't be fat. You should be in shape, right? And then travel. Asian countries are usually more often than not healthier than Western countries. Very simple, right? Now with vlogging, it's very simple. It's just like literally, just imagine Casey Neistat, but like super schizophrenic, right? Just literally take moments of your day, you know, whenever you remember, and literally put that into a post together so that way you can post it online, right? Because people who have interesting lives oftentimes don't share their interesting lives with the world, which is crazy, including mine. Like I literally fly all the time and I'm like, dang, you know, my life is pretty interesting. So I might as well just share this with the world as a piece of content rather than just trying to think of a piece of content all the freaking time. And then the last one is green screen videos, right? So like green screen videos is essentially any of those videos that you see on a consistent basis where you're just like, oh my gosh, look at this that's happening in the headlines and stuff like that. Like this is my comment on this, that sort of thing, right? There's a lot of stuff happening in the news right now that I could talk about in this specific video, but I'm not gonna do that. We'd be here for hours. But the thing is that the news never gets old. So therefore, you could literally comment on this specific thing that's happening in the news with the green screen in the background and how it relates to your industry. Like for example, like, oh, like the tariffs was super huge like a couple months ago, back in April. You could be like, oh, this, you know, basically this is happening with the tariffs right now and this is how it affects the photography industry. Like this, or like this is how it affects the fitness industry, or like anything like that. Roughly green screen videos to comment based upon other people's opinions or things that are happening in the world as a stitch, or literally just an original green screen video, if that makes sense. So that's short form. That's what I suggest for short form. And then as you go and then you notice that a lot of people are posting, you got to post at least 2 posts a day. Okay, this is confirmed by Adley Kinsman, if you watch him, by Icon Becker, by Ryan McGinn. Literally everybody says 2 posts minimum a day, because there's literally an oversaturation of people making short form content and you have to compete. I do 3 posts a day, but that's because I just want to be mad aggressive with it, and I've already done that in the past, like back in 2022 when I was like really heavily on TikTok. So that's short form. Now long form, it's just literally you have to make a commitment, like videos that are 10 to 15 minutes long, and on top of that, how many videos are you willing to commit to every single week? I gave myself a non-negotiable 2 videos a week, mainly because I want to get into the habit of making 2 videos a week. It's really hard, like literally putting long form videos just like these. This is more so a lecture, and I know it's going to be longer, but dang, you know, it's a lot of videos, including vlogs and talking head videos and video essays and stuff that I genuinely enjoy in the creative stuff, right? But more often than not, I would just focus on making search-based content. Also, put your keywords together. Like, what do you want to stand out for? I want to stand out for social media ads, and just content creation overall, right? My business partner wants to be more so on the AI automation, the systems development side, right? Which is cool, but you have to know your audience more so than anything else, right? So my thing is, pick the topic that you want to talk about on a consistent basis, and then figure out what is your non-negotiable. It has to be a minimum a video a week. and stick to it for the rest of your life pretty much. And if you need help over the course of time, like once it starts becoming a normal thing in your business, like obviously delegate with a team that can definitely help you, and then go from there. Otherwise, you're not going to make any progress unless you consistently push out content, especially on long form that pays you the best, but it's the hardest to get on, right? So out of all of this is what I'm doing in order to help boost my notoriety and boost my reach among these 3 different classifications of channels, of social media channels. So just remember, first pick the platform that best suits your needs and where your customer base is at. And then once you do that, once you get pretty good at making content on that platform, go towards omnipresence. Because at the end of the day, that's what everybody's doing. And you have to be able to compete, especially within your business. If you have to hire somebody that does your social media for you, then so be it. But at the end of it, you want to be able to compete. So once you have all of this taken into consideration, just make sure that creating stories is at the forefront of everything that you do. So you just learned my system on how I create better stories to make better pieces of content on social media. Now, if you want to watch a video on why I even got into social media, click the video right here. Otherwise, make sure to like and subscribe because I put videos out like this every single week and you don't want to miss them. And if you're a business or a contractor or anybody that wants to do social media ads in order to give them an appointment setting system so that way they can get more appointments to make more sales on autopilot, click the first link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.